Hello everyone and welcome to the video on web applications and security. In this video, we are going to study some important terms about web applications and security and some other concepts relating to it. Starting with the web page. What's a web page? A web page is any digital page or document hosted on internet. A digital page. A website. What's a website? It's a collection of interconnected web pages designed with a certain goal in mind. That means a website is a collection of web pages. Okay? So that means if there is a website, let's say, suppose it's a website for your homework help, right? So there are many web pages on that very website that help you in your homework, and each web page has a different set of questions. Okay, now let's see what's a web portal. Web portal is a website which hosts to many other websites. Itself a website and hosts to many other websites like MSN, Yahoo and India Times, etc. What's a web browser? Web browser is a program or software on a client computer. That means it needs to be there to be used upon. Example, MSIE, Google Chrome, etc. That means there has to be Google Chrome on your computer, or else you won't be able to use it. What's a web client? A web client is a program or a component on client side that requests and uses services provided by web server. Okay? Now we come to URL. URL is Uniform Resource Locator. Uniform Resource Locator. It is unique address of web page on internet. For example, you want to open any website. Let's say some famous websites I cannot recall right now. Let's say you want to open Amazon. So you will write in the search bar Amazon. You won't write HTTPS colon and slash and whatnot. That is known as the URL. Okay. We come to blog. Blog is the short for weblog, and the blog is a web page that serves the publicly accessible personal journal for an individual. You know, there are many people who want to write, but they are not completely write like the legendary writers, but they still want to write their personal journey, their personal views, their personal occasions, and want to describe it in a form of a story and want to present them in front of many people without having to get a book published or being so much perfect. So I'm sorry, they write a blog. Now what's a blogger? Of course, the blogger is the author of blog. The blogger is the one who writes and updates entry in his or her blog. What's blogging? Again, it's the action of writing blog. Now what's a news group? News groups are internet discussion forums where a group of users with common interests gather to discuss on a common topic of internet. For example, there are people who have interest in politics. So they discuss with the other people who have the same interest. There are people who are interested in, like, say, the Bollywood gossip. So there are fan pages. Some people who are interested in the exam related competitive exams. So they have their own news groups. Now what's an email? Email stands for electronic mail, and it is an internet service which is used to send or receive mail. So this is the most common term you must have gone through till now. Some must have learnt of blog and URL and everything, but this is the most common you have studied till now. Now let's see the structure of email, because it is very, very important, because nowadays things are getting advanced and everything is done on mails. So this is the standard form: username, @host or domain name. For example, spkhare_lps. This is the complete username. @ for @ yahoo.com. It should be .com. There's some mistake. It's not printed .com. Like, see here. Here it is printed .com. It should also be .com. That is the host or domain name. So username is spkhare_lps, @ then domain name yahoo.com. Now what's instant messaging? It's the most common thing to you nowadays. You must not have learned the term in practical much more, but you do it every day. Like, there's WhatsApp. It's an instant messaging app. There's your DM on the Instagram, Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, and I don't know what not. Instant messaging allows users to exchange text messages with connected parties in real time. Real time means right now I'm sending, it's reaching to you at that very moment. Not like the age-old letters that people used to write each other. They used to take days and even months to get across the other part of the world, and you get a reply much after that. Instant messaging is an online chat service using an instant message application. In instant messaging, an electronic message is sent to a connection and it gets delivered in real time. Popular instant messaging applications are Google Talk, Google Hangouts, Facebook Messenger, etc. Mobile-based apps are WhatsApp, Telegram, etc. What does this mean? That Google Talk, Google Hangouts, Facebook Messengers, etc., their ID you can use on any phone, like your Instagram, your Google ID, your Facebook ID, you can use on any phone. But for using WhatsApp and Telegram, you need to get that very mobile, because they include your mobile number. They use your mobile number. And these use your password. So you can put password anywhere, but you cannot carry your mobile into any phone. Okay? Now what are the features of instant messaging? It is available 24/7 hours. Of course, WhatsApp doesn't say you that it's a Sunday, or it's after 12 a.m. or it's as early as 4 a.m. You can message anyone anytime. It is available on multiple platforms. It's not only a single app that WhatsApp will only allow instant messaging. It can be anytime you want to chat with anyone, with any app like Facebook Messengers and Telegram and many more examples I gave earlier. It can store unlimited chat history that you already know very well. It facilitates multimedia sharing, can share everything. Your photos, your videos, your location, audio, contact numbers, many other kinds of documents, PPTs. Even this PPT I'm showing, I have gotten WhatsApp. It provides options of replying or forwarding message. So this you can do very well. You know how to reply on a message on anything, or how to forward it to any other chat. With instant messaging, searching in chat messages is possible. Of course, if nowadays you have been getting so much of study material from your school and you are not able to find one, then you just go into the search option and write the name of it, and you get the options, and you get to know where it was, even if it was 10 seconds earlier or 4 years earlier, if it's still on your phone. Instant messaging services can either be in the form of separate applications or can be run directly on a specific website. This also you very well know that there are websites, there are applications, there are, I can say, services which provide both on internet as well as the app. For example, Facebook, Instagram, you can use their app as well, and through Google Chrome also you can use those apps to do instant messaging. Whereas separate applications like in WhatsApp or Telegram, you need to have the application on your phone. No URL is going to function for that very application. Commonly used popular instant messenger services are Google Hangouts, Facebook Messenger, Skype, WhatsApp, Telegram, etc. Now, what are the general rules and etiquettes for chatting? Now, if you are going to chat with anyone, even if it's professional or friendly or informal, you need to be very, very you need to be very, very attractive, because your first impression is the last impression. You have to start with a short greeting, like say hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, etc. Keep the conversation short. Don't just fill it with unnecessary information unless it's your best friend or your parents or your siblings. Use popularly known abbreviations. That makes you look more of classy. Not classy, but it makes you look more of trendy. Popular abbreviations include the abbreviation like ASAP, as soon as possible. And don't use abbreviations which are for foul words and all. Be patient when someone is typing. Just don't say that why are you typing so slowly. Just be patient, because their message can be a very important message and they also want a right impression on you. You don't want any wrong information for yourself, so let them write whatever they want to tell you. And end conversation with a short closing, like a bye or good night or take care or whatever, or thank you or whatever short closing you want, because it's the general etiquette. Now, what's a blog? So I know much about blogs because my mother is a blogger. Recently only she started on this app known as Momspresso, and this is not at all a sponsored video. I'm just telling you that she does it, and that is why I know it. It's a popular app. A blog refers to an online journal where entries are posted. The word blog has been derived from vblog, it's written, but it's actually web log. It's wrong here. It's not vblog, it's a web log. Okay, because other the same thing is, what does blog mean then? Okay, it's a web log. It's been written by mistake by some of the people who have made it. A person who writes and maintains a blog is called a blogger, and art of writing a blog is called blogging, which I've already told you earlier. Now, what are the types of blogs? There are 4 types of blogs. A personal blog, which my mother writes. A news and views, the people who are more interested in they don't want to share their own information, but they want to improve their skills of writing. They want to get them indulged in something, so they just pass on the daily news and their views on that particular topic. Company blogs, their companies write blogs about their performance, about their work scopes, about their everything. And there are micro blogs. Many popular free online blogging sites are Blogger, WordPress, Typepad, LiveJournal. These are some famous of them. I have also told one, that is Momspresso, if I made my writing clear. Now, what's a personal blog? Personal blog, this is the most common type of blog, and maximum number of blogs on internet are from this category. Most of the people want to describe their feelings, their views, their events, and about their past or the present or whatever they feel like. News and views, this type of blog contains factual stories about news and maintained by journalists. The people who want to pursue journalism, or they are more interested in writing and everything, they do these kind of blogs. Company blogs, many companies run blogs to let their customers and clients know what's going on in the company, telling what they are up to. And microblogs, this is a new type of blog where one can post very short comments that others can follow. Twitter is the best example of a microblog where one can post 280 characters. You have heard of this word tweet. Tweet is a I'm sorry if the spelling is wrong, just a minute. Tweet is a microblog. It's a very short blog on some particular topic, written in 280 characters. This needs to be learned. So if you have seen the hashtags running all over every time, you've seen, if you are on there or if you are connected with anything, every big authority or smaller, anyone can tweet, and it's a very micro blog showing your personal feelings, because personal blog will go to about what do you feel, what is about you, and here it is about something, some popular thing you want to present your views upon. What are the advantages of blog? A blog enables you to write down, and it's a single tool. Write down your thoughts on anything that interests you. Blogs are easy to set up and do not need much technical knowledge. You can simply type down, and you need to be knowledgeable about your subject, and that's all. They don't need much of the technical knowledge, where to do, what to do, how to post it, what to do, and what all shall be done. Nothing. It's very simple, and blogs are easy and quick to update or add new posts. Don't take time. Like if a person wants to write, earlier they want to write a book, so it takes a lot of time to publish a book. But here, as soon as you are satisfied and you are done, you just post it. Now, what are the disadvantages of blog? Whenever you publish, is available for everyone to see. If you write a post in anger, you might regret later. So if people are supposed or asked not to write a blog when they are angry, because in anger they can write anything, and blogs are public. That means everyone can see you, whoever wants, and they may form a wrong opinion about you. A personal blog may be biased or contain inaccurate information, of course, because that person is not a dignitary person, that is not supervised or revised by any authority. Like, you can very much depend on books, rely on books, mostly the NCERT books and all, because it's a very big authority, and each and every word, each and every letter is checked twice, thrice, and so many times. But here, as soon as the author is complete, as soon as he is satisfied, he just posts it, and you cannot rely for the correct information. Blogs can be time consuming. Finding time to write regular updates can become a chore. So this is also a thing. Mostly people write it down when they are free, but some people take it as a time pass. So for blogs need to be regularly updated, otherwise you fall down and you just become unpopular over time. So it can become a highly tiring work to and find different subjects, what to write, how to manage time. But the people who are the free, their main work they have chosen, or their main pastime, because they have a lot of time, like the housewife, my mother, she gets to be free because during this lockdown we are not going to school, so she was free and she started writing this blog. Now, what are the steps to create a blog? Open browser and go to blogger.com. So here go to is different. Go to blogger.com, click an option create your blog, enter a name or title for your blog and choose a blog address. Now choose a template or theme which can be displayed on outside so that people may get attracted towards it, and finally click on create blog. Now we come to a different topic, which is online transactions. Online transaction or e-payments is a payment in which transfer of fund or money happens online over electronic fund transfer. E-payments are either debit or credit payments that are processed entirely electronically, with the value passing from one bank account to another bank account. This online transaction is in trend these days, and it is going to be the future of our nation, of the world. Cash won't be there. Now all the payment had to be made e-payments, and you all are very, very aware of it. So not much explanation needed. Even your fees nowadays to your schools are not submitted in check or cash. Some terms related to e-transaction. Digital order. It is sent by payment client to payment server to provide transaction information. Digital receipt. It is sent from payment server to payment client to indicate the outcome of transaction. That means जिसको भेजने हैं और जिसको भेजे जाने हैं. I mean to say, let's say example of your school and your parents. Your parents have to submit fees to your school. Let's say parent and school. When parent will transfer money to the school, will be known as a digital order. When the school will receive the amount, it will get to know the parent about it, that the fees is submitted. That is known as digital receipt. And transaction is the combination of digital order and digital receipt. Going and coming of both the things, the complete process is known as transaction. E-shopping, very, very familiar to all of you nowadays. E-shopping refers to shopping over internet by selecting items and placing order to buy them on a website or through a mobile app. Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal and Myntra and what not. Everything you can shop online. E-ticketing also is a very, very popular way nowadays to book your tickets for anything, literally anything. You can book a ticket for your movie, you can book a ticket for your train, you can book a ticket for your flight, you can book your cabs and everything. It is known as electronic ticketing. It is a process of making e-tickets available without any need for printed tickets, saving the need of a paper. So here we finish, and I want to thank you all for watching the video till the end. And I'm sorry. Thank you all of you for watching the video till the end, and stay on the channel. Do subscribe and like if you find it useful. Thanks.